Hi, everyone. My name is Cicely Dudick, Project Manager of ISSA Show North America, and I'm excited to welcome you to the third episode of Preview Week. Today, I'm happy to introduce two of our ISSA Show speakers who you will be able to see in person at our trade show next month in Las Vegas. So don't forget to register and make your travel arrangements if you haven't done so already. If you enjoy this webinar, be sure to keep your eye out for more that we have available this afternoon and for the rest of the week. You'll hear from other speakers from our official show partners and exhibitors as they bring you relevant content to the worldwide cleaning industry, all brought to you live and tailored to your business. If you have questions during the presentation, submit them in the Q&A box on the right-hand side of this screen, and the presenters will answer them after the presentation concludes. Lastly, this webinar will be recorded and available on ISSAshow.com, so you can watch this on demand if you're unable to stay for the entire presentation. I am now happy to introduce the speakers of this hour's session, Debbie Good and Margaret Walker-Shaw.
Hello, everybody. I am very excited to have this hour to share with you some information, and hopefully you will have a chance to learn something new today. Definitely looking forward to seeing you in November. So let's dig in. We're going to be talking about navigating housekeeping in the hospitality industry during times of change. Before we start, I just have a very quick disclaimer, because in hospitality, we're talking about different properties. So the materials that I'm going to provide to you is for informational purposes. Not every property or hotel is the same. So any questions specifically, if you have it, please, and you work in the hospitality industry, check with those property management team individually, so you can get what that specific property manager do. So let's just dig in. We have entered a world of change. Change is here, change has been here, and change will be here to stay. So last year we encountered ourselves that we have been thrown something else that changed. So hospitality, it's not immune to this change, and it's has been deeply impacted by it. So with that, we just come out, and out of that change, new trends come in. On those trends, we discover that we go in a different direction. Maybe we were moving left and this happened. Now we are moving right. So as part of that, we have discovered that housekeeping have become a core part of the business. We need housekeeping. And we have come out to the forefront in our industry and in businesses. So that's a good thing for us and for all the businesses in general. We are now that core part. You need us. We're here to stay, and let's work together. What other trend have changed? We are under additional scrutiny. We not only from internal scrutiny, that means management, administration, but external too. Our customers coming in, our guests coming in, everybody's looking. What's going on? What are you doing about it? What kind of changes are you doing to help during this time? And they're here to stay. So accept those changes, move with it, be happy about it, instead of maybe looking at it in a negative way. So let's go behind the scenes a little bit. What's going on back door, basically. The hospitality industry has made a commitment to enhance cleaning measures and safety guidelines to help meet and or exceed the challenges we face. So today we are going to talk about some areas. And what are those areas? Where we're going to talk about training. We're going to talk about workplace health and safety, communication, chemicals, laundry, guest rooms, hiring practices. And we're going to see how those things might have changed during this time. The first area we're going to talk about is training. Training, it's extremely important, okay? And we got standard operating procedures that they have or we have developed. So we have a step-by-step process on how to perform a task. So when we have a housekeeper coming in, there is a standard operating procedure. So we educate them, education to those housekeepers on what process to do first. Clean from the back of the room to the outside, and how to do those things. So we educate. That's part of the training. Standard procedures give us accountability. It creates and encourages compliance with the property standards and the procedures that the property have. That's what accountability provides. And not only that, but those standard operating procedures also provide compliance. Compliance in what? Well, by making those processes standard, it helps ensure that they are following health and safety, not only procedures in our properties, but health and safety laws that they are in there. So those are changes that we have made. In customer service, I love customer service. Customer service is an area where we looked at customer service within our departments and customer service with our guests. And that's absolutely wonderful. And how does the hospitality industry have taken a proactive measure on that? Well, they have created or they have opted to have training, which is what we're talking about how to let the employees, housekeepers, or everybody, how to maybe prevent a situation, how to maybe address it differently. So we can, instead of being we are being proactive about it. Teaching the staff how to learn behaviors, to be prepared to see how a guest might be approaching. It might be this guest might be upset already. So be ready to notice those cues to address the situation and calm the situation. Be calm. Listen. Listen is one of those things that is extremely important. We should always listen first. Take a step back and listen to what's going on. Maybe repeat it back to ensure that you have listened correctly. And this is training that they're given to the employees. How to address this, how to listen, how to step back, how to ask proactive questions about it. So the guest knows or the individual knows you're listening. They're training, well, accommodate the guests when possible. It might not be possible, but accommodate them when possible. And don't place the blame on anybody. Those are areas in customer service that we are ensuring that our employees are trained, that they understand, that they can address as they come in. And remember to always say thank you. Thank those guests. So maybe if we have a situation that is going to escalate, it de-escalate, that we can do that. And then this training, it's not just for housekeeping. It's not just for the front desk. It's not just for dining, but training every single individual across all the different departments that disinfecting is for everybody. Everybody has this task. It's not just a job of housekeeping. And why do I say that? Well, as you know, a guest walks in and goes to the front desk. After they leave, that front desk staff might have to disinfect. So making sure that the staff and not just housekeeping are aware of how to do this. And this goes also with our standard operating procedures, how to do it so we can all do it correctly. Under the work and health and safety, what are we looking at? What is the industry taking a step back and maybe change? Well, first is the staff and guest. The health of the employee is important. The health of the staff is important. So what do we need to do to ensure this is happening? So we are making sure that we are wearing our first face coverings. And once again, look at your state, look at your facility, look at your properties, and follow those rules and those policies and procedures. Okay, social distancing, face coverings. This is important that for our health and the health of our guests. Considering health checks. Some properties are considering that when the employee is walking in, check with them, talk with them, check their temperature, what's going on with you. Are you feeling well? Prevention. We're talking about looking at preventive measures and training the individuals on that. Stay at home if you're not feeling well. Okay. And that's why I put here, make sure your policies are in accordance with CDC guidelines and in compliance with your local and state laws. But we have taken a step back. How can we help not only our guests, but our employees? So the health and the safety covers everybody because everybody is important. Communication. This is another wonderful area. Communication is important in our lives. And the hospitality industry has said, you know what? We need to look how we communicate with our guests so everybody knows what's going on. So we have the external communication of what's going on the websites, on the emails, on social media. What is that property? Policies and procedures. So when our guests are arriving, our guests know what to expect. And it helps not only the staff, but the guests to prepare, to get ready for what's going on and be ready for that. Internally, signs all over the place to everybody knows, wash your hands. Okay, social distancing, where to go, where are we cleaning, how are we cleaning, wearing face covering. Since we open the doors, you know, since you enter that we wear face coverings, that we follow social distances. If our property has specific policies that we are to follow, they are shared with you ahead of time. So there is communication always between the properties and the guests. So it is a best and the best time that you can have in our properties. So what else we use in housekeeping that we need to consider? Well, those cleaning products, those chemicals. And professional cleaning products are designed to clean and or disinfect surfaces efficiently. Manufacturers are working very hard to bring the technology and the innovative products to the forefront. So let's take a step back. Let's look at what products are we using. Look at the labels. We're looking at disinfecting products. So we can see, is this product that we used to use? Okay. Can we use it now? We have a new situation in front of us. Are we ready? If we are not, let's look at those products. Let's make sure that the products are EPA approved. So when you as a guest walked in, you know, Once again, we just communicated with you what to expect when you walk in. So it is our responsibility, and we have taken that stand. It is our responsibility to ensure that your health and safety that we just talked about is taken care of. So those chemicals and those products have been submitted and have gone through the EPA approval process, and they're ready. Okay. We have a product that you all know that we can use at home, which is Lysol, right? And it wasn't until last year where a lot of us, and me included, took the time to turn around that bottle, that spray of Lysol, and look, hey, this works for what we are encountering right now. And they were flying off the shelf. So yes, we in the hospitality industry have taken that stand. We're going to look back. Let's check what we have. Well, let's check our disinfectants and make sure that we are all EPA approved, to make sure that it is what we need to use for the health and safety of everyone. The laundry. As we know, we go and stay. So the laundry department also had to take a little check and look at our processes. So what we have done, well, we have changed and checked our water temperatures in our washer machines to make sure that they are the temperature that they need to be. Let's take a look back. Let's check it out. If they're not, let's make sure that we're using those settings that are permissible. When we are picking up the laundry at our gas, well, let's have the proper PPEs, first of all. And we ensure that we provide those. Let's place them in bags. So when we are transporting, they are already collected in bags. We're washing our hands. Once again, we walk around. We have access to high touch areas. So this is important for everybody to make sure that it is taken care of and it is done properly and it's moving along. Once again, training. And we go back to training, we go back to customer service, and we will keep going back to ensure that we are following that training, that we're doing what we need to do, that we are getting ready for our staffs. Okay, we suffer, we closed last year. Now we are open. Let's make sure that our guests know that they are safe. And that's part of it. So new sheets means we have taken the precautions necessary to ensure your safety. We are following CDC guidelines. That's important that we follow those as they come in, and follow manufacturer's instructions. Why did I put that in there? Well, it's part of cleaning that laundry that we need to do this to ensure everything is taken care of. So we're not just looking at the back of the house, okay? And the back of the house includes dining, okay? And we are taking care of those areas and cleaning properly, and not properly, just properly, but cleaning multiple times a day, okay? And that's part of what we are sharing with you guys right now. We got the pool area, and those pool areas are once again clean, and not just clean once, but clean multiple times. Make sure that there are signs. One of the areas that I like, that I have seen personally, and you probably, if you have been in one of our properties, you have noticed there are signs even in the elevator. It tells you this was clean at this time. So you know, once again, part of that communication, that it's extremely important that we share that and that we do those things. The front of the house, since the guest walked in and arrived, what we are doing is sharing It's making sure the guests are comfortable, that the guests know, or that communication, what's going on. So the presence of housekeeping is more visible. You probably are going to see us walking around, maybe with a car, maybe we're not, but we are around and you can see us more often. There are signs about social distancing everywhere, and the property requirements about face covering. Signs and posters with information. For example, we made a standard operating procedure where lobbies will be cleaned 3, 4, 5 times. So not only we have done that, with our part of it is posters that might share with you. This was clean at this time. Expect somebody else coming and clean at this other time. So you're aware of what's going on. It's part of what we spoke at the beginning about that scrutiny that we're going with. They're looking at what are you doing. So if we share with you from the beginning, all that information, it's there for you. So you're aware, you know what's going on. Times of cleaning, we share that with you, not only elevators, we share that in bathrooms, when it was clean, when it will be clean again. We have taken a look at our furniture arrangement. We talked about social distancing. So we are being proactive about moving those chairs and those sofas in a way that individuals can still practice that social distancing. And we are doing it in a way that it's comfortable and attractive and welcoming for everybody, but still giving that option for individuals to do that. It's there, and we are not going to stop. These are some of the changes that we have done for it. So at this time, I would like to give a chance for Margaret Walker-Shaw to talk to you about some of those changes happening in some of the other areas in our properties. So, Margaret, I'm going to pass it to you now.
Good morning. I'm going to talk about our guest room services and hospitality, which very, very important that our guests understands that we put every effort into making sure that our rooms are sanitized, disinfected, and they'll be more comfortable with staying with us. So one of the things that has changed with the pandemic is now there's an opt-in versus an opt-out. And what that means is opting in is that you want service. Opting out is that you're okay not having your room service on a daily basis. And for sure, if you opt in the hospitality world, we'll make sure that your room is serviced. But a lot of our guests are opting out for several reasons. The other thing that has happened is digital keys. Now you don't have to particularly go to the front desk to pick up a hard key or a key card to get into your room. It's done through your phone, and you can take your phone and flash it over the door and get access to your guest room. So that keeps a lot of touching doorknobs, that keeps it away. Staff won't enter the room without guest approval. So we, in the past, would just go to the floors and knock on doors and enter the guest room for servicing. But now the guest needs to approve. And then when the guests do request or approve coming in, no guest can be in the room while cleaning. That protects the staff, that protects the guests, and it's a more comfortable situation when there's no guests in the room while being cleaned. Towels and toiletries are provided based on your stay. So however long you're going to stay in the facility, all of your toiletries and towels are provided. But just in case you need extra, it's always okay to contact the housekeeping department, and they would definitely provide whatever's needed. The TV remote control is now in a bag, and what that means is there's a covering over the TV remote so that you don't actually touch the buttons, but the bag provides a way that you could change your channels, do whatever you have going on, but it's more protected in that bag, and that bag is disinfected every single time that room is serviced. Is disinfected. The use of EPA-approved chemicals, very important. EPA stands for the Environmental Protection Agency. Definitely need to use chemicals that's approved by that agency. You know, people always talk about the two words that we hear quite often in cleaning. Sanitizing is one, and disinfecting is other. Well, both of those are great, but they mean different things. Sanitizing, you make the room clean and hygienic, but with disinfectants, you destroy bacteria. So the products that are in disinfecting is a much stronger, it's called a quaternary. And with quaternaries, you usually need drying time for them to work. Most of the time it's 10 minutes, but there are some products now on the market because of public areas that will dry a little faster and be effective. But sanitizing is great, but in this pandemic state, we should work on disinfecting a bit more. Cleaning high touch points. High touch points is doorknobs and elevator buttons and inside of the elevator doors. All of those are high touch point areas that in many situations that I've been in, we touch those points every hour. Every hour we have to disinfect those areas. Somebody get on the elevator, they have pushed the button, we disinfect the elevator button because it's very, very important to keep everything as disinfected as possible. So all of the high touch point areas are very important that we take care of those. Now going to the hiring process. This is in the area of great precautions. The workforce has decreased, making it a bit more difficult to hire staff to expect quality for our facilities. Experience, that's a word that we used to use all the time. We want to hire people that has experience. We want to hire people that has experience. Well, in the new day, in the new world we live in, the experienced people need to be the people that manage the facilities, that know how to train in the facilities. But as far as your guest room attendants and your EVS staff, experience is not that important to me because you can train, and that's what's important, that you train properly. They get a proper understanding of how to get the job done, and that can all be done with the training that you provide. So experience is great, of course, necessary for the management, but as your room staff or public area staff, training will solve that issue of experience. Now, personality, you can't train personality. So it's very important that when you are hiring people, that you look for that personality. You look for that attitude, because that's very important in our industry, to have great personality, to make our guests feel like They're at home, away from home, and personality plays a great part in that. And then with our new world, scheduling is important. Be able to have team members that have flexible times that they're available, because it's important. Some facilities have 24-hour service, some only the morning and afternoon, but it's real important to hire people that don't have a lot of restrictions on the time that they can be there. Of course, work with them as much as possible, because there is life with this situation, but it's important that flexible scheduling and that the team members that you hire are flexible. So now I'm going to turn it back over to Debbie.
Thank you, Margaret. And I wanted to say that it's so important right now. We have seen this, Margaret, and I agree with you, especially on the flexibility of schedules. The time where individuals work 8 to 5, it's probably in the gone area. And we have had to adapt to that and open our minds once again, as we talk from the beginning. Change, and we have had to take that in consideration, change things. And the hospitality industry has taken that seriously and have moved to do what we need to do, because since the beginning I talked to you, we live in an evolving world. Expect the change, and you will go through it a lot easier, and move forward better and happier if you are expecting that. We are in continuous improvement as things move forward. We heard of Delta, so let's see what else we need to do to make it better for our guests and our staff. And that's what we are making sure of and ensuring that we take care of. So this is just, guys, this is just basically a preview of what is to come in November, as Cicely mentioned at the beginning. And I want to make sure that you guys are aware of what's going to be in November. So I wanted to share with you some of the different sessions going on. We have 3 sessions in Tuesday the 16th at 2:30, and we have another one going on with Margaret Walker-Shaw, so we get to hear from her again. Post-pandemic, the truth about what really works in hospitality. So this presentation discusses the 2020 and COVID-19 brought pathogens awareness and mitigation to the forefront of everyone's facility management agenda. So come, let's hear the speakers talk about that. We have also leveling up in hospitality. And let's get ready for that. I really want to see you guys take a look at these sessions. Margaret is talking about providing excellent service during this pandemic and what's to come. On Wednesday, the 17th, we also have 3 sessions going on: recruiting, quality staffing, keeping the standards. And our wonderful Margaret Walker-Shaw is speaking at 12:30. Then we have a game plan to win, coaching strategies for service-based businesses. That's at 1:00. And guys, I just want you guys to come in. Get ready for it. We got a generation why finding what matters to the modern workforce. And that's on Wednesday. On Thursday, we have 2, understanding and conquering the myth of hygiene theater in facilities. And we have also what you need to know to be successful in times like this. So come, get ready, go ahead. If you haven't logged in yet, please go register. Once again, go register, sign up for all these sessions that are available during our convention, during this time together. And, I can't wait to have a chance to meet you in November. And get ready. Go ahead. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, we are going to take a little bit of time, Margaret and I, to answer some questions. I have seen some questions. And I see a question that says, in the laundry, what role do chemical dispensers play? And what changes do you see?
Well, in my experience, the chemical dispensers play a very important role in laundries. Of course, it's programmed per load, per soil type, and it's necessary that you don't over chemical or under chemical. And the changes is only to ensure that the products that are being used in the dispensers work well. Because with everything that's going on right now, you're not, in some cases, able to get the products that you're accustomed to using. So a lot of substitutes are coming our way. So we got to make sure dispensers to me are very important because it manages, it controls levels. It makes sure that, once again, I said that you don't overuse or underuse because that's a cost issue right there. If you overuse, if you underuse, that is a product, final product look, smell issue. So only change I see for that is that the chemicals that are now being sold and presented to our facilities work as well and have the proper add-ins to combat what we're going through right now.
Yes, I agree 100% with what Margaret had shared. So I'm just going to add a little bit more. We need to remember that in laundry, chemical is it's one part of the equation. In laundry, you have the chemical, and as Margaret shared, we need to take a look at those chemicals and the dispensers that they are providing the right amount. Okay. And we are using what we need to disinfect those linens or clothing or whatever it is. But chemicals are just one part of the equation. You have to add also the water temperatures is important, guys. So take in consideration water temperatures and you are using the correct water temperatures when you are laundering, and the different stages of laundering that you're using the proper water temperatures. Something else is a mechanical action that you have the right, and this is talking about your actual machines. Okay, so what kind of chemical actions are we using? So it is a combination of everything, and chemicals in laundry is as important as chemicals disinfecting around all the areas. We have a question that I see come in, and the question says, how is hospitality changing their washroom facilities to provide a hygienic experience for their customers?
Well, what I'd like to add with that, the restroom facilities in public areas, a lot have posted signs about hand washing, make sure it's 20 seconds or more. They're providing a lot of, when this first happened, a lot of plexi had been added to separate the sinks, the basins, in the urinals in the men's restroom. Plexi was added so that there's no contact whatsoever, one from the other. There is a more inspections that are done now, more frequent. The team members go in to service these restrooms to be sure that they are maintained and kept up. It's about, and I know you may say, well, that's throwing labor at it. Well, in this pandemic, we will have to increase labor and how we do things because visiting the areas more often is definitely needed.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I do not see any other questions. So I'm going to give you, I appreciate you taking the time. And I want to say thank you for spending this time with us. And hopefully I get a chance to meet you in person in November. I'm excited about it. So hopefully we'll get to see you. That will conclude our session for today. And have a wonderful day and rest of the week. Goodbye.